guys, we are just about to get on the road. Merch trailer, truck, Dad's got the RV over there. Wide open towards the Central Valley down in California for this weekend. 2 nights, Hanford, California. It's sad, this isn't our last weekend of racing in the sprint car, but we sure are getting close. It's crazy how 2024 went by just like that. Carly, are you ready to roll?
I am absolutely ready. Let's do it.
So we are just getting rolling now. We have like 8 or 9 hours ahead of us, depending on how fast we drive. So we got a long time.
The speed limit.
We do the speed. Well, it does suck. In California, you can only go 55 with the trailer, so it takes a little bit longer compared to like when we were going through Wyoming. We could do 80. So
yeah,
that was a lot nicer. But anyway, today on the channel, I wanted to talk with you guys about silly season in sprint car racing, because I think that has officially started, and it's actually kind of a fun topic. And it's definitely a more fun topic when you're not maybe as much of a part of the ride swapping and the musical chairs game of sprint car racing. Now, right now, some of you are probably saying, Tanner, what does silly season mean? I've never heard of that. Basically, it is the term used for, like I said, the game of musical chairs in sprint car racing, where one driver maybe gets fired or quits and then goes to another team, and then that team's driver quits or gets fired and then goes to another team. And it's where guys are getting hired and fired across the sport, or parting ways, or whatever term nowadays you want to use. But for whatever reason, guys are not continuing with the team that they are on and they are joining a new one. So long story short, it involves a lot of drivers moving around. But then now, in 2024, because of everything that kind of happened, we now have high limit. We also have the World of Outlaws. A new aspect of silly season is if drivers are going to stay on the current tour that they are. See, we used to just have the World of Outlaws, so you either were a national car, or you could just run on the All-Stars or just run regional and just do your own schedule. But now you have, our guys going to go the Outlaw route, our guys going to go the high limit route. What are the benefits of each? Of course, there's been a lot of talk about the charter system as well, so that's an interesting aspect. Another layer to it is we're starting to see guys jump from the non-wing world to the wing world to try to chase more money, because there's so much more money right now in wing sprint car racing. 100,000 to win, 50,000 to win, 25,000 to win, and over in USAC there's not a lot of big paydays, so it's harder to make the money that is needed as a driver and to live and to pay your bills. And then I guess the last part of silly season, which you don't see as much, and sometimes it's not always in the news, but you do sometimes see crew guys or crew chiefs move around as well, which sometimes can be big. If it's a top level crew chief that really contributes to a team, if they leave one and head to the next, that sometimes is something to really watch for and can make or break a team. But so right now things are kind of underway, because Dason Persley, he just got announced that he is going to be in the Buick Motorsports number 13, and that was kind of, I feel like, the first move for what is going to be this off season, as guys are going to start be moving around. And
look at that end too. That thing's nice.
Carly just spotted a rig that we want to pull the trailer, but like I said, guys are starting to move around. So Dason Persley, he is now going to be on the high limit tour next year, and there's some other cars in question. It's interesting being at the track. You kind of hear some of the rumors, and it's so hard to know what. We don't really love talking about that stuff either, because for the most part, it's none of our business, really, right? What guys are doing.
Yeah, it doesn't really involve us.
It does, yeah, so. It does, like, yeah. So as far as just like saying what the latest rumor and news are, it doesn't really do anything, because like I said, honestly, I feel like sometimes people walk around the pit area and make stuff up just to cause chaos and make everyone think that something's gonna happen. But I always wait until I officially see the news. But one thing that is legit off of like I said, them officially announcing the first high roller, so that means, like I was trying to explain, the musical chairs game, so that means Justin Peck now, who is in the 13, doesn't have a ride. So where is he gonna go? And then he posted recently that he's gonna announce his plans. So then once he announces his plans, whoever's in that car then is probably we're wondering where they're gonna go, and it's just a complete domino effect. So it's interesting to watch. It's fun to not have to be a part of. That's the good part of us. I told you guys, we're trying to build our own operation, so I'm not worried that I'm not gonna be driving my car next year. Unless you're driving it next year.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this weekend goes.
But you just never know. So that's kind of what silly season is all about. And like I said, I don't even really think it's officially really got underway. Like, a lot more is going to happen. You get closer to PRI, which is in Indianapolis in December, and that's when guys drop a lot of news. Is there any other news you got, or?
Not that I'm aware.
No, nothing.
Not getting fired?
Now, in all these situations, there's always a lot more than what you just see kind of at the surface level. You know, as guys go from different teams, it's not necessarily that a team always just feels like they find a better driver. Sometimes if a guy can bring more to the table, sometimes in the form of sponsorship, that can be extremely helpful, and obviously some teams need that. Like if a team is lacking a little bit of funding, if a driver can bring more than the next guy, then that sometimes can secure them the spot. But it definitely is a stressful time for drivers, especially ones that feel like they are on the hot seat. But in general, even sometime, for example, like us, you know, as I'm trying to plan on running my own car again next year, our silly season looks different. You know, we are obviously, I'm not worried if necessarily I'm going to have a car to drive, but now we're trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle together to make sure that that car can be competitive, that car can be fast, we have the resources that we need, we have some of the financials. And so what I'm just kind of trying to get at is, like, in the motorsports world, no matter what position you're in, your job just always looks a little bit different, but there's always that work there. So like I said, for us, you know, it's working with our sponsors and our partners and making sure that we're getting all the equipment we need from our manufacturers and we're getting it built properly, and we are just prepared to run the schedule that we set out to run. And both have their pros and cons, so it's just kind of the route that you want to take. But I'm excited. 2025 is going to be a great year. We're already working ahead now. We're trying to be more ahead of the game than ever. You know, last year we were kind of unsure what our future looked like at this point because I was driving for, you know, Shark Racing, and maybe I was going to stay on, maybe I wasn't.
We kind of knew, I feel like. I mean, we didn't, but we did. There was like the what if.
So we're just trying to be so much more ahead of the game because we have an idea of what next year, what we want it to look like, and how to basically make it happen. So we're just about to get on the freeway right now. That's a little bit on silly season. We'll have to see where Justin Peck goes. Kind of the rumor on the street is that the CJB5 car might be his home, which then we got to see where Spencer Baston goes. Another interesting one is, obviously we all kind of know the writings on the wall that it looks like Corey Day is going to be doing a lot more asphalt racing. So will the 14 car be an open seat, or will that car just kind of sit for the races and then be open for when Corey can run and he'll race? I feel like those are kind of like the two popular questions right now that everyone's wondering, which we'll just have to see how it all plays out, and you know, which teams go high limit, which teams go outlaws. But I think for the most part, unless something drastic changes, I think a lot of the top guys are kind of set in stone, especially since the guys on the high limit side, like I mentioned, are trying to get charters. But that's going to end today's show. We will see you in the next one. Let us know if you like when we kind of just talk about some of the topics in sprint car racing. Like I said, it's nice when you're on the outside. You're kind of like on the mountaintop looking down at all the chaos happening and seeing how it plays out. But Carly, you have any last words?
Nope.
Okay. All right. We will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.